Money line, I'ma run it every time. Give me mine, going up, need no decline.
Hello, UAE Grow Your Finances community.
Where we discuss how to make your money work for you as opposed to the other way around, and how best to grow your finances in the UAE. Here, we like to flip challenges around and create ideas, opportunities, and possibilities so that we can all succeed together, because there are enough seats for everyone at this table. How are you today, Ross?
I am fantastic.
We have an interesting guest today. Somebody who actually grabbed me and made me think that I have a chance of actually making money investing. The first person who's managed to do this for me.
And I've been a husband for a long time.
The incentive also helped. We do have a special offer for the group. It's going to be a competition now between you and me, who can make the most on the platform. And we'll keep you guys updated.
Here we go.
But first, we have an interesting philosophical discussion topic for you guys today. Ross, are you ready to make finance fun?
Absolutely.
In 3, 2, 1, fun. The discussion topic today is one that's really going to make you think. What does it mean to live in awareness? And why is it important for success, in inverted commas, whatever that means to you, and self-actualization to live in awareness?
This is such a good one. And I myself am on this journey. I will probably always be on this journey. I've always been someone that lives on edge. I've always been someone that as soon as I get up in the morning to when I go to sleep at night, my mind is thinking about this investment, about that investment. And it's very hard to come down. And I'm really trying to get to that point. I know when we had our beautiful baby boy, he brought me down a little bit, but now he's crazy, so he brings me up again. But it really is something so important. When I manage to come down and I manage to see the world the way it should be seen in a calm, relaxed state, the world is my oyster. I can do so much more. I can be so much better, and I can see so much more. But to get to that point, it's so hard if you are not raised that way.
You don't have to be in that state constantly. I mean, we have different states for a reason. And it's very important sometimes to be in that fast thinking state, because maybe you do need to think on your feet sometimes in some situations, in many situations, often, especially if you're somebody with a very demanding job, etc. So when you're in that mode, there's a time and a place. And sometimes it can be very beneficial. But then it's also important to be able to practice awareness so that even when you're in that state, you're self-aware. You're aware of where you're maybe making some mistakes and can improve. You're able to reflect and be honest with yourself on where maybe you might have been the problem in a conflict or a situation, and where you can maybe make some shifts so that that conflict or situation can be improved on the next time. Living in awareness is about taking responsibility for your life and for your actions and for your interactions. And in that way, it's about evolving and growing into a life of more peace and ease. Because at the end of the day, we are working for financial freedom. We want to feel free, we want to feel at ease, and we want to feel at peace in our lives. And that's something that we're looking for money to provide for us. But there are also other ways in which you can find that feeling and that lifestyle.
Without money.
Money is one aspect of mindset, of overall well-being. It certainly is one aspect. We can't deny that. Finances is a part of life. You cannot live without spending. If you are alive, you are spending. So finances, it's a part of life, the topic of finances. If you think about it as one of those round pie charts and it's like all divided, finance would be a section of that. Then obviously your health, your physical health is a section of that. We have different aspects in our lives that contribute. A lot of us are fooled by society into thinking that financial freedom provides us the freedom, ease, and peace that we're seeking. We've spoken about that before. But actually, you might have heard that finding it within, first and foremost, is the main driver for creating it within your life in all the other aspects and sectors. So if you work on that within yourself first, then you can do better within your entrepreneurial project or within your workspace, for example. And you find more balance within your life that allows you to function in a more optimal way. So that's why it's so important to practice awareness, as well as when you are aware, you are connected to the world around you. So you're connected to people, you're present, you're listening, you're joining forces, you're working together. Your minds are not cut off from one another. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. 100%.
So living in awareness is important for success and self-actualization. And that's why meditation is so popular these days.
Yeah, and yoga.
And yoga. But really, it's just teaching you to become self-aware, to become aware of your thoughts, to live in the present moment. And it's something that you never actually master. You never say, okay, I've now mastered that. Now I can move on and live my life. It's a continual practice because human beings are so incredibly intricate, nuanced, interesting, and multifaceted. And we're always getting to know ourselves. We're always coming to know our true essence. We're always shedding our conditioning. We're always unlearning and relearning, hopefully. If you're living in awareness, you're doing all those things in order to expand and in order to find more balance and homeostasis within your life. And that also creates homeostasis within your system and your health and your overall well-being. So it's like a circle, a cycle that just keeps giving and giving and giving to your life. And it's not about perfection.
And it's so important, though, for us to talk a bit deeper on this topic and to talk about what an influence the way you are raised, first and foremost, what influence it has the job that you have. You know, some jobs are 24/7 going. Obviously, you don't work 24/7, but your operation is working 24/7. Therefore, when you wake up in the morning, first thing you have to do is check your phone.
Mm-hmm.
You know, check your phone, check your messages, check what happened last night, check what happened this morning. And it sometimes drains you so badly. So in order to get out of these patterns, you have to go bit by bit, step by step. I haven't got past the first step yet, but definitely after this conversation, I'm going to try. I'm going to try because it's so important. And I keep on thinking of how peaceful life would be if I woke up in the morning and took an hour without looking at my phone.
So awareness is a way of being. Awareness is the way you see the world, the way you feel the world, and the way you feel within the world. And as I say, it's not about perfection. But having said that, it's about feeling different. It's about different sensations within your body, within your nervous system. It's about noticing. It's about learning to notice. And meditation is actually a good place to start because once you learn to become aware and once you know that feeling of noticing and you practice it, it's a practice. It becomes a habit, just like anything else. It's like waking up from a sleep. It doesn't mean that you're not going to go back into your work mode because there's nothing wrong with that. You need to be in that mode, like I said before. However, you know how to come back to that, to take the restorative breaks and rests that you need. And it doesn't even have to be long at all. It can even be for a few seconds. You come back to that, you remind yourself of the present moment, of your awareness. And even during those moments when you're in a conflict at work, you are able to feel that sensation, have that perspective, and make that shift to say, oh, this is what's happening with me right now. How can I regulate my system a bit in this moment so that it can become more easy to navigate this situation?
And the question is, can you switch off and can you switch over? I'm not going to be some hypocrite here. I'm not going to tell you that I am the magician at doing this, because I really struggle. But when you get back from work, are you able to switch off and be 100% present for those that love you in your personal life?
And what do you know you need in order to do that, in order to come down? That's
Correct.
also like knowing yourself. I need this in
Correct.
order. When I come home, I need to take a shower. I need to take 30 minutes alone without my phone, and I need to take a walk, and then I can come and be present.
And to be 100% honest, this was very difficult in our relationship. And we recently started doing this.
Yes.
That I come to you and I say, listen, I'll get home from work. I need a bit of time to go to gym. I need a bit of time to go downstairs and maybe have a swim in the pool. And you responded in the same way. You need this and this and this.
Yes.
And when we actively did this, our relationship, our lifestyle, everything improved.
Yes. So I want to say here that it takes awareness to know what it is that you need.
Correct.
That is in itself difficult. And then to express it to the person. All of this is difficult because often people have things holding them back. They have guilt, they have worry, they have all sorts of emotions that are uncomfortable within your body, holding you back from becoming aware of what it is that you need and actually expressing it. Okay, it sounds simple, but there's a lot of things from holding people back often to do that. So that's first and foremost, I want to say, don't underestimate how difficult that can be for a person. But like you said, it improved our relationship. And that's why it's so important to practice self-awareness. Because when we react to something in our lives, let's say, for example, you're leading a team and you have a reaction to something that somebody's done wrong, what you view as wrong, okay? Or something that's not in line with the way you run your business or want to run your business. Those reactions are based on our past traumas. Trauma is a heavy word, but trauma is basically just something that's happened in the past that has stuck with you and in a way still controls the way you react to things, or it controls the way your system reacts to things, your bodily sensations. So if you really are aware, you will see that before you react to something, something happens within your body. Something tightens, something squeezes, something rises, there's heat, something uncomfortable happens within your body. And that causes the reaction and you explode, right?
Correct.
When you become aware of that, you can catch it before the explosion happens. And then you have more control of how to shift your reaction for more ease. And then your interactions change, your relationships change. And that's how you improve overall. And like I said, I'm going to repeat, it's not about perfection and nobody has perfected this. We'll all still get angry. We'll all still have our patterns. It is a continuous practice. But becoming aware of ourselves, we now have more power to choose. And we can even become aware of us being harsh on ourselves, like, oh, I'm doing that thing again, that thing where I feel this way and then I explode. I'm such a terrible person for doing that. Become aware of that.
Correct.
You become aware of that and you say, no, you know what? I'm going to be kind to myself. I'm going to choose to be loving towards myself because I am human and I have my experiences and I'm working with myself to improve. We're doing this one step at a time. And in this way, we heal the world because when people are self-aware, they can admit very hard truths to themselves. They can say, you know what? What I said to that person or thought about that person, it was prejudice. It was hatred. We all have some form of conditioning within us. And it's a form of humbling yourself. And that's how we find peace, truly. within the world. And I'm not saying that I don't act badly towards people sometimes or say things that I regret, but it's when you take responsibility for those things that the world heals. And it's not about telling other people to do that. It's about us working on ourselves first and foremost. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. No message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make that change. This is really, really true because that's how the world heals. Because everybody has their stuff. Everybody has things that they have to work with. Nobody is perfect. So it's all about self-awareness. In your family life, in your work life, in your company, in your friendships.
In your universe.
Everything you do in order to make a change within the world on Facebook, on social media,
My gosh,
things
yeah.
you're typing, that's all part of it.
Stop typing that nasty message now and make it a good message.
Yes, because we all have judgments within ourselves. So
Correct.
becoming aware of what judgments we have, the reason we have those judgments, perhaps it's actually that we judge ourselves for that very thing that we're passing the judgment on to somebody else for. And now they're going to have that judgment within themselves and they're going to pass it on. And that's how hatred spreads, my friends. So self-awareness is the key to peace. And that is my TED Talk for today. That's my preach for today.
I would like to just end off by saying that if you are a partner of someone that is struggling to get awareness on what they are doing, on the way they're living, please accept your partner's help. And please, as a partner, help your partner find their resolution, find what they are doing wrong. And you need to act as a mirror for someone that is stubborn-headed like myself. Because I know that
We're both.
Kimberly is probably the one that initiates all these conversations because she is more, I would say, more self-aware than I am. And if you are like me, accept the help of your loved ones. And if you're like Kimberly, please help your loved ones to create a better world for all of us.
So I just want to insert here that I used to be extremely hardworking. I used to work. I believe that was the way that you had to do it in a world that is tough, honestly, for survival. And I eventually got very sick. I was giving to others. I was operating in a way where I was not replenishing and giving back to myself. I know that now through self-awareness, but it actually took a health crisis, an intense health crisis, to wake me up and to force me to look at myself and change my ways. And that is the book, The Body Says No by Gabor Mate. I've said this before. Your body shuts down when you're not paying attention to yourself. And maybe when you're overworking yourself, giving too much of yourself, not living in a way that's sustainable, in a way that provides you ease, peace, and freedom, and self-love. So I was forced to become self-aware. I was forced to because my body shut down. And I'm just lucky enough that I have a partner who is very hardworking. So now I'm able to make adjustments to my life where I can choose to take the time to work on this. So I'm very grateful to you for that, I have to say. I can choose how I spend my energy to pursue things that are in line with what lights me up, what gives me energy, as opposed to drains my energy. And I'm not saying that what I was doing before didn't light me up. I felt that it was really my passion because I was naturally a giver, because that's how I was conditioned to give. And I find it very, very difficult to ask for things for myself. Very difficult. And that's something that I'm constantly working on and practicing and improving on, I'm happy to report. But that's just an example of how important self-awareness is and how important it is for your health and therefore for your work life. I had you to back me up because you're an extremely hard worker. But if I was alone, my financial health would have been completely destroyed just from lack of paying attention to what it was that wasn't serving me. So paying attention to what serves you in life, restores your energy, what gives you peace, freedom, feelings of ease is so important for your financial health, for your career, and for your overall well-being.
Let us know down below what you struggle with when it comes to awareness and what you personally do to bring that awareness to light. Because we would love to know what you do. Let's help each other out. Maybe you're doing something that I'm going to say, wow, that's actually great. I'm going to try that myself. Maybe you're going to a yoga class that I want to join. Let's help each other out, right? Instead of just helping yourself, let's help each other. So leave some comments down below and let us know what you do.
What helps you?
Having some free time. Having some free time to de-stress, going to gym, swimming, and also doing some business, some investing on the side, when I have some downtime.
That helps your self-awareness.
Absolutely. Yeah.
For me, I'm going to share an incredible resource. Look it up, somatic experiencing. Somatic experiencing, where you explore the internal landscape of your body and your nervous system. That has been a life changer for me personally. So what has been your life changer? For me, it's been somatic experiencing, which teaches you to also presence yourself and regulate your nervous system by bringing yourself back to the present moment.
And on that note, let's get in our juicy episode with Tara.
Ross, are you ready to make finance fun?
Absolutely.
In 3, 2, 1.
Fun. How are you, Tara? Great to have you on the podcast. So who exactly are you and what is Saxo Bank?
All right. Thank you for having me, Ross, Kimberly. Lovely being here. My name is Tara Tyan. I'm the COO of Saxo Bank in the Middle East. I have a marketing background, but I've grown into this role and I'm really enjoying it. Now, who's Saxo Bank? So you've asked 2 questions. Saxo Bank is a Danish investment firm that's been around for 30 years. We celebrated last year our 30 years anniversary, actually. And Saxo Bank is based out of Denmark. We started in 1992 with a purpose of making investment available for everyone, investment in the global markets. And in 1998, we launched one of the first digital investment platforms in Europe to basically enable clients to trade themselves and take control of their financial future, basically. In Dubai, we've been here since 2009, so almost 15 years now. And it's been a growing business for us. We've got 15 offices worldwide. We have more than 72 nationalities working for Saxo Bank.
Wow.
It's quite a diverse workforce, really nice place to work at, which is also why I've been here for many years. I enjoyed the company culture and to see the company go through quite tremendous growth, both in terms of profit, of client base. We have now more than 100 billion in US funds of client assets. So it's been quite a journey. But also culture-wise, we see the company really developing. So originally, it's a very male-dominated world, finance. But now we see that switching quite a lot. And the company takes that very seriously in terms of also giving opportunities to female talents, etc.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, exactly.
That's actually what I was going to branch into because, like you said, the financial industry is very male dominant. And for a female to become a COO of such a big financial company, it's applauding. It's absolutely amazing. So how did you get there?
Hard work.
And what challenges faced you as a female in the industry? Because we have a lot of female listeners who ask about this. They say that they can't really find much material that's relevant specifically to females that they can consume to learn about investing and finance. They find that a lot of the material out there is focused on males and geared towards males. So that, I think, is a bit of an issue within the industry. What issues faced you in the industry, and how did you manage to shift it so that now that your company is inclusive?
Okay, there's quite a few angles to that question. So I agree. Traditionally, when you wanted to invest as a woman, it's been quite intimidating. And there hasn't been that much information that's been provided also from females to females as well. I would say that relating to a speaker or an educator also is important.
Yeah.
So that's been a challenge. But also the investments in general were looked at very much from a trading perspective. So it was a lot of margin product. It was very complicated. And us as females, we tend to be a bit more
We like a story.
Visual.
we like a story, but we also don't jump into things without really feeling like we understand what we're doing.
Yes.
Whereas guys have a tendency to do quite the opposite.
Yes.
Absolutely. I can agree with that.
So we really like to know the subject matter very well before we get ourselves into investing. So there's also a different approach from our characters and our ways of behavior that's also created that disparity, if you like. But lately in Saxo Bank, I think we've been focusing much more on investment content instead of trading. And there's a bit of a difference because we categorize investment as in you're investing in cash products, so stocks, ETFs, mutual funds, bonds. And then trading is more the margin products, so Forex, currencies trading, CFDs, commodities, options, which are more complex products, futures. So we've been focusing a lot more on going back to the fundamentals and really taking the user back from the very start. How do you start investing? We've developed a platform specifically for investors. It's called Saxo Investor, which is quite simple. It's not intimidating at all as the other platforms, which are very trader heavy, are. So it's a lot of things that are changing. It's our tone of voice. It's what products we focus on. It's the type of platform that we develop. It's also who we send out to talk about our products. It's not just men who talk about very big concepts, etc. But we're also taking it back to the basics and focusing on the education, how to start from scratch with not much knowledge about it, and how to actually feel secure when you're going into investing, and take it step by step so that you also feel ready at your own pace.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of that needs to be
Yeah.
said, because otherwise it, like, people talk about investment, you feel like, oh, they're already in it, they're deep in it.
Yes.
They understand the world. You don't really need to understand everything. You can
Yes.
start step by step, and then your own understanding grows with the experience, and then you start feeling ready to take on a new product or another asset class to your portfolio.
Yeah.
So it's really about breaking it down into steps and making it easier and more approachable as well.
Fantastic. That is so great.
Like the saying, you eat one piece of the elephant at a time.
Yes, exactly.
So yes, this is absolutely incredible to have this on a platform like Saxo, because we do have many members that actually they stay in the dark for a very long time, and they take at least a year and a half, 2 years to feel comfortable enough to post and say, guys, I'm a newbie, I need some help. And most of the time it's anonymous because they're scared of being attacked.
Or judged.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I mean, at the end of the day, you have a lot of financial people out there that are selling these funds that are just eating away at your profits. And they're acting like they know everything, but actually they don't. They just taking a big commission from you. And that's what we have tried to portray on the group. And that's, I think, the reason why these people are coming out of the dark. And I think a lot more financial services need to act this way in order to allow everyone to have a fair chance in the financial industry and invest in.
And empower themselves.
Absolutely. That's fantastic. So on to the next question. When we look at all the scams going around in the financial industry, what makes Saxo Bank a trusted and reliable platform? I'm sure you regulate it, but take us through step by step what you have in place to make sure that the members or the future users of your platform feel secure.
Absolutely. Thanks for bringing this question. I think it's really important. Having been in the industry for a long time and with the really bad reputation of Forex brokers, I completely understand the worry. Look, as I said, Saxo Bank has been here for 30 years, and we're a very well capitalized bank. We've actually, since last year, have received both an investment grade rating from S&P, and we also received a systemically important financial institution designation. That's a lot of beautiful words.
Yes.
What it actually means is that we're a solid institution, solid financial institution that's profitable and that has basically very little chance of going kaput or a bust. So that in itself is a very important criteria. Also, when you choose a broker to invest with, that you make sure that they're a solid business, that they've been here a long time, that they have a track record, that they also have a lot of different measures put in place to stay safe, basically, and ensure that your funds are safe in the process. And we're regulated by the Danish FSA, and the Danish Guarantee Fund guarantees up to 100,000 euros of your funds. And by the way, when you open an account with Saxo Bank in the MENA region, you actually open your account in Denmark because we're a representative office in Dubai. So we don't actually open local accounts. We open them in Denmark.
Okay.
So you have that security in the sense that your funds are also in Europe. They're not sitting here. And that reassures a lot of investors, to be honest.
When you say guarantee $100,000
So
of your
that
fund,
if by any chance a Danish investment company or investment institution goes down, then the Danish guarantee fund comes in place, right? So in the eventuality that there's a problem with Saxo Bank and we go down, then you have a fund that will return some of your money.
oh wow, amazing.
That's
So
fantastic.
it's like an insurance.
Kind of, yes.
Fantastic. I've never heard of that in my life, so it's actually quite amazing to
Yeah.
hear that. That's
So that's why many customers are reassured
Yes.
that it's in.
It is definitely the fact that we're a European bank. I think that plays a big part.
Mhm.
The fact that we have all these measurements in place, that we are a profitable company, that we have a track record. There's a lot of those things that come in place. And of course, the Danish Guarantee Fund helps as well because you know that you've got something to fall back on in case things go south.
Mhm.
fantastic.
Yeah.
That certainly is reassuring.
It really is, yeah.
Yeah. Peace of mind.
Also, I mean, I would say as a company, just also something to keep in mind because it puts us apart from smaller brokers is that we work and encourage the longevity of a client's life with us, right? So we don't encourage people to come in, throw their money, burn the money, and lose everything and go. That's not how we make money. We make money when the client makes money. So the longer you stay with us, the longer you trade with us, the longer we actually have income also, right?
Correct.
So it's a win-win situation for us. When the client wins, we win. So that's also a big differentiator.
Fantastic. We love win-win.
Yes.
You know, this is
And that's one of our
so
values,
important.
by the way, as a company. In everything we do, it has to be win-win. It's not just for Saxo, it has to be for the clients. So we make sure that we also provide clients with risk management tools, with education. We always talk about diversifying one's portfolio. That's very important. And that's also a risk management tool, right? So that
sure.
if something goes wrong in one of the industries that you're investing in, then you always have something else that will go right.
Mhm.
fantastic.
That's what your reputation is built on.
Yes, absolutely.
Can you take us through why Saxo Bank should be your choice of broker
Yes.
opposed to any of the other brokerages out there?
At Saxo, we have one of the strongest platforms in the market currently. It's developed in-house. All three of our platforms are developed in-house. But we're very much known with our client base for having a very stable and powerful platform with great tools for both investors and traders. So that's the major differentiator, I would say. And when we do NPS surveys and we check our clients' satisfaction, one of the highest ratings for us is our platform, actually. So if you're
Fantastic.
coming to trade, you want a stable platform. You don't want a platform that crashes all the time.
Yeah.
You want a platform that's easy to navigate. You want a platform that will give you access to all the tools from one account. So you have that with Saxo. You want a platform that is secure. So we make sure that our level of securities in the bank is extremely high. So all of these things are very important for traders, and we happen to have one of the best platforms, and it's
Fantastic.
Great.
It is a really good looking platform. So you say your tech is all in-house. So you
Yes.
have your tech nerds in the back of the house just coding
do.
away and making your platform look amazing.
yes, absolutely.
Fantastic.
And because we're a very techy and nerdy company, our platform has been built by traders for traders, right? But lately, we've also been working on simplifying the platform. making sure that the interface is very user friendly. So we're rethinking everything in the platform, fixing the way it looks, the user journey in the platform, the type of information you get when you're on the platform, so that everything is a finger away, actually.
So important, because we are very quickly innovating in this world. We're very quickly advancing. So there are so many confusing investment opportunities and so many avenues that you can take. So to simplify really helps people to make the jump and make a decision. Yeah.
Absolutely. And let me just clarify one thing for the listeners. I think that's an important one. We have 3 platforms at the moment. The entry level platform, if you'd like, the easiest is Saxo Investor that I mentioned earlier. And then there's Saxo Trader Go. So the difference between Saxo Investor and Saxo Trader Go is that via Saxo Investor, you only have access to cash products. So stocks, ETFs, bonds, and mutual funds,
Okay.
and managed portfolios. When you move to Saxo Trader Go, you have access to all those products plus the trading type products, so the
Okay.
margin products.
Okay.
You have then FX, CFDs, commodities, options, futures. Okay. So depending on your level and what you're interested in as well, what you want to invest in, you can choose one or the other platform. Both
That's
of
so great to hear, because obviously the ones in the other platform have so much risk to them.
Yes.
So a newbie coming in might click on a leverage product and lose all of their money or lose 50%
Yeah.
of their
Yeah.
funds. So at least it's on a completely different platform. And the people that are more advanced, they would go to that
Yes.
platform over the other.
Or
So,
And then-
people that prefer riskier. Or,
Yeah.
correct.
And the beautiful thing is that it's the same account that you use for both. So you don't need to create another account.
Okay.
Wow.
That's great.
So that's fantastic. And by the way, talking out of personal experience, I worked in Saxo for a long time, right? And until we introduced Saxo Investor, I did not start trading.
Wow.
I
Oh.
wouldn't invest because I found Saxo Trader Go to be intimidating. I didn't have the education. I
Yeah.
didn't have that
Wow.
reassurance. And then as soon, and I'm happy to show you the platform right after this recording, but as soon as I got on it, it just all made sense. It was very
Yeah.
simple.
Great.
I
So
just
it
thought- yeah.
it helps to grow the passion.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now when I switch to Saxo Trader Go, it's not so intimidating because I've had that journey where I've built up my knowledge, I've built up my trust, my confidence in myself,
Yes.
my decisions, my understanding, etc.
Yes.
So I was ready to switch platforms.
We always talk about the importance of investor confidence.
Correct.
Yeah.
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 So that's very useful. And then we have the third platform, which is not a mobile platform. So the 2 first ones are available on mobile.
Okay.
You can download both and switch from one to the other seamlessly. But then the third one is called Saxo Trader Pro. And that's a desktop based platform that you need to download. And basically, it gives you access to many screens. So it really
Okay.
goes for the professional trader to be able to really control and be into the details of the trades that they're planning.
So these are the advanced traders, the ones
Yeah.
that are sitting on Wall Street or
Yes, the ones that make it their job, basically.
For sure.
Saxo Trader
For
Pro
sure.
is for them.
Fantastic.
Absolutely. Great. I've never understood why they make it so complicated. You know, there's so many, I would say 50% of the people out there, or even more, don't understand all these graphs and these complicated platforms that are out there. So they're losing so much money, these companies that are just creating these advanced platforms to make it look like they are trading with the world's best, you know, but
People want simple.
exactly. People want simple.
Yeah, and that's what's great with us is that you can actually move from one platform to the other as you grow more confident, right?
Absolutely.
At your own rhythm, or never move at all, right? It's
Yeah.
For sure.
totally up to you, which is brilliant.
Yeah.
Great.
I agree. I'm
Perfect.
downloading it as soon as we get off the conversation.
So let's get on to what Saxo Bank offers in terms of products. I know you've mentioned quite a few different products during the podcast, but let's talk in detail about what does Saxo Bank offer for the listeners out there, and maybe touch on the points that they might miss if they come to your website.
So we offer about 71,000 instruments on our platform, which can be quite daunting. But if you break it down into the asset of interest for you, it's easier to understand or to grasp. So we offer stocks to start with. Stocks are a very easy product to understand. It's basically shares of a company. Then you've got the exchange traded funds, the ETFs, which are less risky product than stocks actually. because it's a fund that looks at many companies' performance, and basically it regulates your investment. So you're not investing in one company, but you might be investing in 500 companies in one go. That removes some of the risk there. And then you have things like bonds. Bonds traditionally were traded offline, so you had to call your bank to buy a bond. But now they're available online on our platforms. And bonds are a great asset to add to your portfolio, especially in a high interest world, because then you can manage your risk there. Then you've got mutual funds. You have FX. So FX trading is basically when you have two pairs. So the euro dollar, for example, you expect one to go up, the other to go down. You can make money on fluctuation of currencies, basically. And we offer access to 190 FX pairs. You also have CFDs. So once you grow your knowledge and you're a bit more comfortable with trading and risk, you can also start trading CFDs. By the way, we offer crypto. Maybe that's something that the user would miss. We don't offer crypto as a digital currency in your digital wallet, but we offer FX crypto and crypto ETFs.
Okay.
So earlier this year, for example, 11 Bitcoin ETFs went live on the market, and they're available on the Saxo
Oh,
platform.
fantastic.
So if you want to get on the crypto craze, but you're too afraid of the volatility, then that's a great way to get into it.
And
right?
your coins going missing. Or
Exactly.
losing your
Yeah,
code
you're
for
not
it.
you're not going to lose your code. You're not going to lose your data, your money. It's safe. It's there. You're investing in it, but with a less risky product. So again, that goes back to what I was saying about the whole win-win situation and making sure that yes, we want to give access to our clients to all types of products, but we also want our clients to be safe in the process. So that's one way, and something that people might have missed when looking at our site, maybe.
So you're doing it yourself, but you're not doing it yourself. You're doing it yourself in a way that's safer and more safety netted.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you're empowered, but also protected.
And talking about not doing it yourself, one product that clients might miss is access to managed portfolios. So we offer managed portfolios from very big companies such as Nasdaq, BlackRock, etc. So basically, those are portfolios that are managed by such big companies, and you can just opt into the portfolio itself. So you follow with your money, and then they trade on your behalf.
Okay.
So if you're completely starting from scratch, you have no idea, then managed portfolios are the easiest way to get in, because once you enter our platform and are interested in the portfolios, then you will be taking a test, a risk assessment test. So depending on your risk appetite, Saxo will show you which portfolios are more suited. So if you've got a moderate risk, then we will show you some portfolios. If you have a very low risk tolerance, then we will show you different portfolios as well. So that's a great way. You need basically zero knowledge. You have companies that have been doing it for a very long time, that are world renowned, and they're basically managing the funds for you.
Great.
So that's also a very easy product to start with.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Absolutely. And when we talk about the fees, what is a customer charge? I know it's probably different for different asset classes, but maybe we can average it or tell us.
I can give you some price points for sure. So earlier this year, actually on the 15th of January, we've reduced our prices quite massively globally.
Wow.
It's been a very big campaign for us. And the idea behind it is that we make sure that trading and investing is more affordable for everyone. So we continue on our company values and mission.
Great.
To make it more accessible for everyone. So we've lowered, for example, our commissions on US stocks starting from $1. That's very low.
Yeah.
And we also offer the $0.75 on US stock options, $1 per contract on futures. FX spread are as low as 0.5 pips. And all of that, by the way, keep in mind that there are no more inactivity fees and there is no minimums on custody fees. So really, we've trimmed down our fees to the maximum and made sure that we are much more accessible for everyone.
Yes, that's what I was just about to say. So it's welcoming to the average Joe.
Yes.
Anybody who is on the group, anybody who's looking to get started, anybody who's actually just looking to switch platforms or go to a more user-friendly, more enjoyable platform. This is a fantastic
And more
option for
cost
you.
effective now.
More cost
Since
effective.
the 15th of January, which is great.
So you can make more of your money, actually.
Yes.
whilst being on a award-winning platform and
Yes.
having a local office here, local service. So honestly, yeah, for me, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Saxo is the choice now.
I have to say it's very appealing. It certainly is. And I'm not even a trader. I'm not an investor. He's the one who does all of it for us. But
I'm going to walk into the room tomorrow and she's going to be like on Saxo
I'm
application.
curious, I must
Busy
say.
trading stocks.
I'm curious to see, like, if it gets me, if it hooks me. So update to come.
Absolutely. And what about these heavy interest rates in the country? Now we go into the UAE, probably worldwide as well. The interest rates are just climbing. What can, let's say, a listener or a future customer do in order to leverage those heavy interest rates?
So interest rates are an interesting one, right? Usually the traditional way of earning interest rates is that you would put money in your account and you would block that money for a long time to be able to earn interest. At Saxo, we've actually made it again more of a win-win. So as soon as you have any money sitting with us, you're actually earning interest on it. So that's fantastic. You can earn up to 4.5% on USD.
wow.
We offer interest on AED, USD, JBP, Euro, and Canadian dollars.
Wow.
So yeah, so any of those currencies that you put your money in with us while you're waiting to trade or to invest will be earning you money. So it's not just sitting around and not earning you anything.
Great.
So that's yeah, it's a fantastic offering, and there's no catch. There is no lock-in periods. You're earning daily your interest, which is accrued at the end of the month, and yeah, it's a good way, and
So-
it's actually reflecting the central bank rates, right? So every day we change the rates accordingly if it
Okay.
fluctuates.
So
Okay,
it's
so
an
if you don't
option.
want to trade, you just keep your money in Saxo and you will be fine with the interest rates.
It's a good option to keep your emergency fund there.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. I mean, there are a lot of options out there. I'm sure Saxo Bank don't tell you to just keep your money in their platform.
No.
You can probably get a lot more profits if you invest in the bonds or something that is managed, a managed portfolio, something that is less risky. I'm sure you can get more interest on that.
Yeah, I think again here it's about not having all your eggs in one basket. So you can have some cash, earn some money on it. You can have some stocks, bonds. So
Yeah.
just a
Yeah.
diversified portfolio, diversified income streams.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we just want to add a short disclaimer here that it's from 10,000 US dollars and above that you'll start earning interest on your funds.
It's a great place to leave some cash ready for the stock market to go down,
Yes.
so you can inject it into a stock
Absolutely.
and wait for it to go up. Yeah.
Absolutely, yes.
Fantastic. And let's talk about the newbie, because we have a lot of them on our group, and let's talk about them directly so that they get more confidence in going after their next investment. What should they start with? If we look at your platform, what is the best place to start? Because it's very scary for someone that is starting to invest. I know I at one point started to invest. I know Kimberly did as well.
And I chose property because it's more tangible. You can get your head around it more easily. So I chose platforms like Smart Crowd and Stake and things like that. Hearing you talk, it's appealing to me. It's making me warm up more to this world.
So let's talk about one asset class.
Okay.
So it's simple for them to
Yes.
understand.
Okay. So first of all, let me just reiterate one thing. I'm not giving any advice. So we're not allowed to
Yes.
give advice.
Yeah.
None of us are financial advisors, guys.
Yes, exactly. I come from a marketing background, so don't take my word for it. But I also was there at a point where I wanted to start and I wasn't too sure where to start. And a friend gave me a brilliant advice. He said, well, why don't you invest in stocks of companies that you actually believe in, that you purchase from, that you have memberships with? And that was a brilliant advice because it got me started. I was like, okay, then as a consumer, what are the brands that I look at? What are the brands that I engage with every day? Am I into streaming? Am I on Spotify? Am I on Anghami? If I'm investing every month, even a little bit of money with those guys,
Yeah.
then why am I not investing in their stocks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if I'm purchasing a recurrent membership with them, it means I believe in the company,
Yeah.
right? So that's a great example of where to get started. And luxury goods, I mean, in Dubai, how many of us are into luxury goods?
Yeah.
Quite a lot of us. I mean,
Large
it's very tempting.
percentage. Yeah.
And if you're purchasing bags or watches or cars, then why don't you also invest in the stocks of those companies that
Yeah.
produce them? that's a very easy way
sure.
to look at it. I mean, if you look at LVMH, for example, the stock since 2020 has one of the biggest growth on the market. It's luxury goods.
Yeah.
Right. So that's a very interesting concept to look at, and a beginner's mistake. And I did that. So I'm happy to share that because it's a good example. Is you get started, you get the courage. So you download your platform, start with Saxo Investor. I repeat it, it's important. And then you put your money, and then you're like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to take my courage and go for it. The first mistake I did was whatever money I had invested, I put it all in one stock.
Oh,
Yeah.
So that can go great and it can go really bad.
yeah.
So, and for the example's sake, I invested all the money I had put to start with was on Tesla. And at that time, for 6 months, it was crashing.
Oh, no.
So I can tell you that for 6 months, every time I went on my account, I was like, oh my God, what an idiot.
Yeah. Or this doesn't work. You might
This
think
doesn't work.
this is not
Yeah.
really something I want to do.
What do I know about the stock market? Why did I get myself into? So I had all the questions in the world, all the doubts,
Yeah.
and then it picked up again. And I'll be very honest, that kind of volatility and that kind of fluctuation was too much for my poor heart.
Yeah.
So so I ended up selling when I was on a profit, and then rethought how I was approaching this. I was like, okay, I need to diversify. Now I understand why I need to diversify. So even if I'm going only for stocks, then I need to look at different sectors. I need to look at different industries. I even need to look at different geographies. What if the whole US stock market crashes? Then I need to have some investments in Asia, in Europe. That's one example. When I'm saying diversify in sectors, am I only going to invest in EV? Am I only going to invest in streaming companies? Only Apple, Microsoft? No, you shouldn't really stick to one industry.
Yeah.
So diversify, diversify, diversify.
100%.
Yeah,
Do not put all your eggs in one basket.
Yes.
And what you're describing there, the way you went about it, like we were saying, it's a way a female would go about things, because I can relate when you're talking. I can totally imagine myself doing the same thing, and totally imagine myself choosing like only fashion companies, for example, and then wondering why I'm not good at this thing, you know, when actually it's just the way in which you do it. You're not actually leading from your heart, your intuition, your passion.
That's a great point that you make. It shouldn't be all about the heart.
Correct.
So another thing that's very important when you do this. So first of all, it starts with the heart. Yes, you believe in a company, you purchase goods from a company, you're a user. So that's great. The second thing you need to do is, let's say you put your heart on a company, you set your heart on one. Then do research. What's in the news about the company? What are their plans? What have they announced? What's the market sentiment about the company? So not just your own, but what are people saying out there? Read some articles. Look at the financials of a company. That's super important, actually. Year on year, how much revenue did they make? How much spending did they have? What is their net profit? Those are very important things to look at, because it also gives you reassurance on how the company is performing and what it's looking like in the future. Of course, in the stock market, there are things you cannot plan for, but at least you would have done your research and made sure that you don't just love a company, but it has a solid track record that you're investing in. And if a company happens to have had a massive drop, then if you still believe in it, then maybe that's a good time to invest in it, right? So there's the heart. Put your heart on a company. 2, do the research, read, look at the financials. That's very important. And then I also do something is that I look at the charts. I look at charts over 5 years. I look at charts over 1 year, 6 months, 2 weeks, 1 week, intraday. So I just also reassure myself and look at the trends of the performance of the company. So those are the steps that I take as Tara to invest in a stock.
Yes, and everybody's individual, but we can learn from one another. When you're talking, I'm thinking of Dragon's Den and Shark Tank and the way they ask all the questions to the pitchers. I don't know if you know these shows.
Yes,
They ask the questions. I'm putting myself in their shoes. They're very unemotional. They want to know the stats. And then, for example, like Deborah Meaden, she's passionate about organic products and she's passionate about like the health industry. So then that gets her attention, but then she still wants to know all of the details, you know? So that's what I'm thinking when I think about choosing. stocks.
Absolutely. You basically betting on a company to do well, to do better than they're doing at that moment.
Yes.
So it's very important to do your research. Like you said, very important to spread your investment over a few investments and not
Yes.
just the one. And obviously, what we say all the time is you have a good foundation, like your emergency fund, like
Yes,
everything to back you
absolutely.
up in case the stock market does crash.
Yeah.
You have money left over in case something happens.
Absolutely. Do not invest money that you cannot afford to lose.
Correct.
That's also a
Yeah.
very important rule. And start small. Don't pressure yourself into putting all the money, all the savings that you have, and start investing. Do not do that.
Yeah.
Do it on a monthly basis, like a hygiene. Every month, the same way you would transfer some of your money to your savings account, transfer some to your investment account, and start purchasing some of the assets that you're comfortable with.
Yes.
And then slowly, you will grow your wealth and your finances
Yes.
by doing that, and your confidence. Because if you go all in, like I did, then it will
It will
shake.
destroy your
Yeah,
confidence.
Yeah.
it will destroy it completely. But if you do it step by step, then the risk is mitigated. Then you don't feel like your lifeline
Yeah.
is at stake. So yeah,
Yeah.
step by step,
Yes.
no pressure.
Some
Yes.
good advice.
Great advice.
And on to a very juicy question for the listeners out there. What do UAE Grow Your Finances get when they click on the referral link, the group referral link, UAE Grow Your Finance members? What do they get?
Fantastic question. I knew you would ask that one. First of all, if I came in and gave you big bonuses, be wary, because that means it's a scam.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. 100%.
But look, I'd love to give your client base also an incentive to get started. And the best that we can do is $200 in commission credit. What that means is that actually, once you open an account via the link we provide to your members, then they will get within a month 200 credits that are redeemable. So if you purchase stocks, ETFs, mutual funds, etc., any product that is on commission, then we will repay you the commission up to $200.
Okay.
So
that's
basically,
amazing.
you're investing without paying for the first month.
Amazing.
Fantastic.
Yes.
That also helps you a little bit on the guarantee side, right?
Yes.
Because you have up to $200 that you would be able to spend
Yes, absolutely.
on the platform.
Mhm.
So I hope you guys have listened very carefully to that. Thank you so much, Tara. Where can we find more on social media with regards to Saxo Bank?
We are available on social media. You can look for Saxo Bank MENA, whether it's X, Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn. You can find us on all platforms. And of course, check out our website, home.saxo/me, for more information on our products and services.
Sounds great. And then obviously we will post the referral link as soon as we get it from Saxo Bank. And you guys can enjoy the benefits of being part of UAE Grow Your Finances.
I'm excited to get started and update everyone on how I feel about the experience and my journey with getting into investing myself, not just with Ross.
I am so excited to hear that. That's music to my ears.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Kimberly. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much, Ross, for having me. This was a very nice chat, and I hope that your followers will find it interesting.
They certainly will.
And we'll touch base in the future. Thank you so much, Tara. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a nice day, everyone.
Wow, what an episode. Thank you so much, Tara from Saxo Bank. We will leave the link, the referral link down below so you can benefit from the group once again. And thank you so much for listening. If you have not subscribed, if you do not follow the channel, please do all of those things, as well as leave us some comments, like the podcast, and please show us some love as we show you love all the time. If you are struggling to get the referral link, drop us a message. We will send it directly to you. And yeah, let's have some fun while we invest. And remember, guys, pay yourself first, because you are worth it.
Money